So up to that 5 points we have seen that what are the various limitations of classical mechanics and how can we overcome that limitations of classical mechanics by using quantum mechanics. So all of these things should be applicable for the microparticles only. Okay, microparticles. So that all this wave nature as well as particle nature can be understood with the help of proper wave equations. Okay, so this Schrödinger has given the famous wave equation for the electrons. That is, since electron is a microparticle, it will behave as a both wave and particle nature. Okay, wave and particle. So how can we able to explain the behavior of both particle and wave nature of electrons? Okay, electrons. So for this he has implemented the simple harmonic vibrations. Okay, he has used the simple harmonic oscillators or the simple harmonic oscillations, and based upon the frequency of that simple harmonic oscillations and all the amplitude of simple harmonic oscillator, so based upon that he has used the same equation for calculating the motion of electron in the given system. Okay. He has assumed that the electron will also behave as a simple harmonic oscillator. So based upon his observation, he has given the famous wave equation, which is called as a this Schrödinger wave equation, which is here. Okay, Schrödinger wave equation. So the wave equation will explain that if the microparticle like electron will behave as a wave as well as particle, the equation of specifically wave motion can be given to the can be given as that okay, this. Okay, so we all know that this displacement of a simple harmonic oscillator is given by that 1 by 2 kx square. Okay, so force is nothing but minus 1 by 2 kx square. Okay, so based upon this that force is directly proportional to this x square, inversely proportional. Okay, so that various derivations are there. We have directly taken this important thing here, that is here. Okay, so this wave equation is important to us here. Directly we have taken the that wave equation. We are not deriving here that equations. In latter part we are going to derive that whole equations again. Okay, but for introductory purpose we are taking only this um, final derivations. Okay, so this is the important wave equation. Okay, and for every system that we are going to study from here onwards, like electron or simple SHM or some other real life system like hydrogen or imaginary system like 1D, 2D, 3D box. Okay, all of this system will consisting of a certain basic wave function. So that wave function is nothing but this. Okay, wave function will be this. So based upon that wave function we are going to derive the various energy levels and all that things. Okay, so like at least each and every one of us should know what is the wave function of our SHM. Okay, so it is what d2 psi upon dx square is equals to minus 8 pi square m. Here it should be m. Okay, 8 pi square m, that is m is the mass of particle, that into E minus V. E is the kinetic energy, V is the potential energy, and divided by h square. H square is nothing but again Planck's constant. Okay, so the parameters are like d2 psi. Psi is nothing but the wave function. So for representing the wave function we uses the symbol psi. Okay, this psi has the two meaning, that capital psi and small psi. If we use the capital psi it will be the wave function. Okay, wave function. And this E is the kinetic energy. Okay, then V is the potential energy, and this m is the mass of the particles. Okay, m is the mass of the particle. So for the given system there are the multiple wave functions associated with the given system. Okay, so for representing the various wave functions we generally use the exponential functions, like exp means exponential functions, or trigonometric functions like sine theta, cos theta. Okay, so such functions can be used for the treatment of our waves. Okay, various waves for the given system. So all of these functions can be possible for the given system, but out of that functions, which functions are suitable for our system, that can be decided on the basis of certain conditions. So what are that conditions? So for the conditions of the acceptable wave functions, like there are total five conditions are there for the given wave function. Okay, so the wave function must be always finite. Okay uh, there are three conditions. Okay, three conditions, not five conditions, there are three conditions. So the wave functions which must be finite, and if it is infinite, then that psi values must have the probability of that finding particle in the given within that limit. Okay, there is a certain limit, so there should be the probability for the particle in the given limit. Means even if the function is being infinite, then also we can make it acceptable wave function if we put the certain limits. Okay, certain limits on its boundaries. Okay, boundaries. So that is the first function condition. Now the second condition is that uh, that psi which must be a single valued function of all points. Okay, so first condition, it should be the finite. Okay, it should be finite. Then second condition must be the, it should be the single valued function, and single valued function. And next is the function of psi, it must be the first derivative must be the continuous, or simply we can say that the given function should be continuous function. Okay, so we'll try to see the that conditions one by one. For consider see one simple function like okay, so consider one simple function, that is f of x simply is equals to x. Okay, f of x is equals to x. So this is the my function. Okay, so we need to say whether this given function is acceptable or not. So for the given function to be acceptable, all the three conditions should be satisfied. Okay, all the three conditions should be satisfied. So first condition is what? The given function should be finite. But this given function, that f of x is equals to x, is finite or not? So here we can see that this function is not finite, because if he goes on increasing the values of x, okay, so what type of graph you will expect? So you will expect the straight line graph passing from origin. Okay, but this graph is tends to infinity. Okay, this graph is tends to infinity. So we can say that this function is not a finite function. Okay, this function is not a finite, so it is an infinite function. So first condition only disobeyed, hence we can say that this function is not a acceptable wave function. So how can we make this function acceptable? Then we can simply put a limit on the given function as f of x is equals to x, with x can have values ranging from say 0 to say 50. Okay, 0 to 50. So then only we can say that the values of x are ranging from 0 to 50, and hence within the given limit this function is finite, and hence it is acceptable. Okay, hence it is acceptable. Since the other two condition, that is here this only the condition which is not satisfied by the given function, that is f of x is equals to x, only the condition which is not satisfied is the infinite nature, and we have made it finite by putting the limit on the equations. Other two condition, that is single valued, it is a single valued function. Since if we say if the value of x is 1, then f of x is also equals to 1. Okay, if the value of x is 2, f of x is also 2. So it is a single valued function, means for every value of x we should get the different value for the given function. And again it is a continuous function. Yes, it is a continuous function, because we have seen that it is a continuous straight line graph. Okay, now consider the another function like f of x is equals to x square. Okay, f of x is equals to x square. So whether the given function is finite or not? No, it is not a finite function. And if you want to make the finite, we will put certain limits. Say suppose x is ranging from 0 to 5. Okay, say 0 to 5, not 0 to 5. Say suppose x is f of x is equals to x square. This is my function, and the range for x values is x can have the values from -2 to +2. Okay, this is the range of my x. So whether the given function is that whether the given function is finite or not. Yes, it is a finite function. Then next, whether the given function is single valued or not. So if we put the value of x as a -2, we'll get the answer as 4, and even if we put the value of x as a +2, then also we get the value of 4. So that we can say that the given function is not a acceptable function. Okay, it's not a single valued function first. So what graph you will expect for this function? So we'll expect graph like this. It can have both the values. Okay, it will be like a straight line. Okay, straight line passing through origin. So it will not like this zigzag line, it will be the straight line same as this. Okay, like this. So we'll expect this type of graph. Okay, for the given function, since for one value of x, say suppose -2, we are getting this value of y, means f of x, and even if we are change the value of +2, then also we are getting the same value for the given function. So the second condition of single valued nature is not satisfied, hence we can say that this function is again not acceptable. And here also third condition, we can here see that there is a sharp change in the value at f of x, or x value is equals to 0. So for such functions the derivative is not continuous, or we can simply say that these functions are discontinuous at a particular point, hence third condition is also not satisfying, hence the given function is a not acceptable function. So you might be asked various functions are given to you in exam. I'm talking about the exam. Okay, so like certain trigonometric functions are given. So mostly these trigonometric functions, sine, cos, okay, are continuous in nature, also single valued and finite. If the limit is given, then it will be the finite in nature. So we can say that these are the acceptable wave functions, sine, cos, okay, but not the in the case of tan. Okay, and you should know the nature of tan x. Then you can say that tan x is not a acceptable function, because at 90 degree that tan reaches to the infinity value. Okay, 90 degree tan x reaches to the infinity value, and hence it is not an acceptable wave function. Okay, so in exam you will be asked certain function, whether the given functions are finite or not finite, or whether the given functions are acceptable or not, that you should be able to tell. Okay, so for that you need to just answer these three questions: whether it is a single value or not, it is finite or not, and whether it is continuous or not. So any of these three conditions are not satisfied, then you can simply say that the given function is not acceptable one. Okay, now next point is the, if we suppose we have derived the function like f of x is equals to sine x, and we all know that this function is a acceptable wave function within the given that interval of x. Okay, so f of x is equals to sine x. So this is the acceptable function. Say suppose for the value of x ranging from 0 to 2 pi. Okay, 2 pi, this is the range of my uh, angle. Okay, x is the angle. So for this range the given function is single valued, finite, as well as continuous, hence we can say that the given function is an acceptable one. So for such functions we need to also satisfy the two more conditions, that is the normalization and orthogonality of the given functions, because the functions we generally use for the quantum mechanical operators or operations, we say that these functions are orthonormal functions, means both of the conditions of normality and orthogonality is satisfied by the given function. So first we will see the conditions of this normalization. So if like suppose psi is my one wave function, so complex conjugate of that equation is psi star. So psi square dx, which represent the probability of finding the given particle at a given point. Okay, so the integration of that function over the possible limit of volume, integration of that wave functions over the possible limit of volume will gives you the total probability, which must be unity, because in the total universe the particle should find at least somewhere. Okay, if we are not finding that given particle in the given time interval, not time interval, given volume element, then we can simply say that the given function is not acceptable. Okay, so the we can say that here the normalization condition is nothing but that integration of wave function over the given limit should be equals to 1. Okay, so probability of finding the given particle is 1. Okay, so if probability is not 1, we can say that it is a not acceptable one. Okay, acceptable one. So this is the normalization condition. Okay, and the d tau, if we consider the three-dimensional nature, then one parameter comes in the act, which is d tau. Okay, sometime you see this symbol, tau symbol. So this symbol is corresponds to the three-dimensional nature of the given system, that is dx, dy and dz. Okay, these three are multiplied together to give the whole volume element, which is represented as the d tau. Okay, so now consider the one general equation. Okay, so this is the equation of our 1D box. Okay, wave equation for the 1D box. We will derive this equation later on. So now consider directly for example purpose this equation as a sine of n pi x upon L. Okay, so here we are given the wave equation. We need to check whether the given function is normalized or not, and if it is not normalized, we have to make the normalization of given function. Okay, or indirectly we can say that we need to find the normalization constant a here. Okay, so for normalization what we will do, we will put certain limit here for the 0 to L length. We have to find out the integration of that given function square. Okay, so first we will see this. Okay, integration of psi square dx is equals to 1 for normalization condition, but the given wave function is given as a sine of n pi x upon L, and the square of that equation will be sine square of n pi x. Okay, L. Now this a square comes out of the bracket, and we can put for sine square theta, we can put 1 minus cos 2 theta upon 2. Okay, this here, okay, whole upon 2. Okay, here we can say that sine square theta, here formula is there. Since for the introductory lecture I have given these formulas, very trigonometric formulas, so we are going to use that one of the formulas from there. So sine square theta is nothing but 1 minus cos 2 theta upon 2. Okay, whole thing is upon 2. So we have used that formula, and next thing is that we need to integrate that. So here 1 by 2 is there. Okay, so commonly we have taken this 2 out here, so a by 2, a square upon 2 is there, so 1 is there, so integration of 1 is x. Okay, here square bracket should be there, capital, minus this integration of cos 2 pi x upon L. So integration of cos is sine into integration of this. Okay, so it will be 2 pi x upon L. So the angle for L. Okay, if we put the condition of that our limits, then we get the 0 for sine 0, it is 0. Here for x we put the limits of L, and if consider the L, then this L will get cancelled for upper limit, and finally we get the sine of 2 pi. Okay, so sine 2 pi is again comes out to be 0, so this term is comes out to be 0, so we have been left only with the L. Okay, so a square upon 2 into L is equals to 1. So for finding out the value of a, we can simply say that a is equals to square root of 2 by L. So this is comes out to be the normalization constant for, okay, normalization constant for 1D box. Okay, normalization constant. So here we have followed the method of that wave function should be normalized. Okay, so that is the condition for normality of the given equation. Okay, normalization. Next point is the orthogonality of the given function. So for the normality, we have seen that the condition is such that integration of psi square dx should be equals to 1. Okay, integration of psi square dx should be equals to 1. Okay, now for the orthogonality, we will see the condition, which is integration of that if we take the two different wave functions and if we integrate that two functions, then their integration should be equals to 0. Okay, their integration should be equals to 0. So suppose my one wave function is sine of my one wave function psi 1, say suppose psi 1 is sine x, psi 2 is my cos x, and if I am integrate this psi 1 into psi 2 dx, I should get 0 value. Okay, then we can say that these two functions are orthogonal to each other, and if we square this sine square or cos square separately, and if you are getting the answer as 1, we should say that these two functions are normalized. Okay, normalized. So for normalization, that we can say that I is equals to j, for we will get the value of 0 and it is equals to 0, not here for normalization it should be equals to 1, and for orthogonality we should get answer 0 when I is not equals to j. For two different function, the integration should be equals to 0, and for same function the integration is comes out to be the 1. Okay, so we can say that for the given acceptable wave function, there are total 5 conditions in total we can say, but for given function we can first we need to check the whether the given function is finite. Okay, whether it is continuous, and last one is the single valued. Okay? Single value. So if we can be able to check all of these conditions, then only we can say that the given wave function is acceptable or not. Okay, so once we got the acceptable wave function, again we need to check the another two conditions, that is normalization of the given wave function, normalization, and next is the orthogonality of the given functions. And if the given function is not normalized or orthogonalized, we have to make that given function normalized by multiplying certain normalization constant like we have seen in the previous example, so that given function becomes the acceptable for the given system. Okay, so for acceptable wave function we can say that it is a orthonormalized. Okay, two conditions are satisfied, we can say that it is orthonormalized wave functions. Okay, orthonormalized. So questions might be like asked likewise. So here are the few questions like what is the condition for the orthogonality of the wave functions. These are the theoretical questions. Okay, these are the theoretical questions. Then next, what are the conditions which are required for the wave functions which are to be acceptable. So there we need to give the that three conditions for first three conditions. Then there might be like questions for MCQ nature also. These type of questions might be asked. Okay, so whether the given that function sine x or e is to minus of x, whether these functions are acceptable or not. Okay, so whether you should give the answer it is acceptable within particular limit. Okay, so that type of questions can be asked based upon the concept that we have seen. Okay, so we need to apply that concept for the given functions. Okay. Thank you.